Welcome to Bytes of Code. In this video we're going to talk about using a boolean in an if statement, because in this case what we want to do is we want to tell the user why they have guessed wrong. We're at a point in our game where we have a random number, the user is able to type in a random number and we can tell them you have guessed correctly or you have guessed wrong, but we kind of want to use more information to allow them to have a better chance on their next guess. So let's start with first creating a boolean. We're going to do a is guess correct, and in order to assign a boolean it's only true or false. We're going to say the guess is not correct. That's going to be our initial boolean. Is guess correct equals to false. We're going to take out all of these elifs for now. We're only going to have two if statements. User guess equals random number, you have guessed correctly. User guess not equal to random number, you have guessed wrong. But we're going to add some more code here. And it's important to note that when you add code in an if condition, remember to have it indented. Remember, this is now the area of code for the if condition. The same for the elif. This is now the area of code for the elif. So remember that it needs to be indented. We're going to assign a variable, is guess correct. We're going to say, hey, the guess was correct. So is guess correct is going to be equal to true. So if the user guess is equal to a random number, the guess is correct. And we're just going to do the same thing for the elif, except we're just going to make sure that it's false. And we're going to print, just so we can demonstrate is guess correct. We're just going to print true or false. So let's run our code. My random number is 31. Let's type in 30. You have guessed wrong. False. That's this line number 27. Is guess correct is equal to false. Let me do a demonstration as to what happens if we do not have this indent. So this is going to demonstrate what happens if we do not have the correct spacing in our code. This print is no longer part of these conditions. Specifically, it's no longer part of the elif. So let's see what happens. Let's do a wrong guess. It says you have guessed wrong. Maybe it seems like it's working. Let's do a right guess. You've guessed correctly. We enter this if condition. Printed you've guessed correctly. But we've also just printed you've guessed wrong. This is outside of any condition. This is code on its own that's being ran. So it's really important to have spacing. Let's put this print back to how we had it before. And let's continue to print is guess correct. Random number is 32. We're going to guess correctly, and now we have our boolean is true. Let's try a different way. Let's guess 50, false. Just for emphasis, let's see what happens when we put this print here. Now this print is lined up with this elif. It actually now, just because of the spacing, belongs to the elif. So if we type in 5, it says you've guessed correctly, and we do not get to this print. But if we type in 61, a wrong guess, we get to this print. So the indentation, the spacing is very important in Python. Well, what we have right now is we have a flag. We have a flag that tells us the user guessed right or the user guessed wrong. That's exactly what we want. Now we're going to use this flag to determine if we should give the user more information. So if is guess correct is equal to false, then we can actually do some of our previous comparisons. We're going to tell them if they have guessed higher or lower. You have guessed higher. Let's do caps. You have guessed higher. Because in this case, the user guess is greater than the random number. We're going to do another if. Let's make this an elif. Elif user guess is less than my random number. We can say you have guessed lower. Now let's actually see this run. Number is 48. Let's type in 48. You have guessed correctly. I guess we can get rid of this. Now let's type in a wrong number. Let's type in 90. You have guessed wrong. And because the is guessed correct is equal to false, we enter into this area of code. And now we check two things. Did they guess higher or lower? They have guessed higher, and so we print you have guessed higher. Pretty sure I've been spelling guess wrong. Guess. So guess is actually spelled correctly. I just double checked it. I guess I've been staring at it for too long. But this is going to be the end of this video. It's going to kind of be a shorter video. This is just to show how we can use a Boolean as a flag, and we can continue to use other if conditions. So we're really using a lot of if conditions in this game, but we still want to get the user to guess multiple times. So we're going to be talking about a loop in the next video to get the user to continue to guess so they actually have a chance at getting the correct random number. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section and I will reply. I hope to see you at the next video.